Hey YouTube, this is a survival guide, quick tips, whatever. We're not sure we're going to call it yet. But if you've watched already one of these videos and you're familiar with what we're trying to do here, you can skip past the intro to this point here. But if you haven't watched one of these so far, the idea is that there are references in Halloween Horror Nights, houses and scare zones and shows to either the source material or other Halloween Horror Nights shows or scare zones. And so if you're not familiar with the material, there are Easter eggs and things that you may see or may miss. Either way, you would possibly not know what they mean, why they are there. So this is sort of something you can watch while you're in line waiting for a house, or scare zone. They may have a line, so you can watch it when you're in line for something else. Or if you're in the waiting area outside the Bill and Ted show. Of course, this is going to contain spoilers, so please be aware of that. But we're going to tell you things that are in the show and why they're in the show. And if you have something we missed or some constructive comments, put them in the comment section below, please. So, this year's Bill and Ted, things to look out for.
Okay, first off, the Bill and Ted actors that you will see have been the same actors playing Bill and Ted since 2010.
Actually, it's 6 years, really.
Yeah, 6 years. So that's our Bill and Ted. I mean, that was 2010 was my first Halloween Horror Nights. My first time watching the Bill and Ted Excellent Halloween Adventure, and I think they do a great job.
Yeah.
They nail their lines every time, and they can do improv when needed.
Yep.
Besides that, the big lady is also a returning actor. She played Elsa and Paula Deen in former years. Some things you'll see, that weird car that drives in is a DeLorean from Back to the Future. Obviously, if you've seen Back to the Future, you know what that is.
Yep. It's a time machine, but it's also a luxury car from a brand that unfortunately failed.
The Doc Brown who gets out could be one of the Doc Brown character players from that occasionally roam the park. We saw Doc Brown. Was it 2011?
Shortly after the Simpsons ride.
Yeah.
Just wandering around the park.
If you want to interact with them, they can be in character.
Yeah.
There was a Back to the Future ride at some point in Universal's history, and they actually do reference it. Like, they do some self-aware jokes, and they're like, wasn't the Back to the Future ride right over there?
If you're not familiar, the ride that is a Simpsons ride was originally opened as the Back to the Future ride.
Yeah.
Same basic ride. Just they changed out what we see on the screen, and there was a DeLorean you were in, things like that.
They also make a joke about 25 years because Disney's doing a show for Hocus Pocus, which is an old movie from the early 90s. And, they make another, why would anybody do a show based on an almost 25-year-old movie? And then they kind of look at each other while the audience laughs.
The reason for that is that the show is based on a movie that's probably about 25 years old.
And also the Avatar guy who comes up is a reoccurring character that's come back. I believe his first year was 2013 and returned in 2014 and is back again this year. So 3 years running for the Avatar guy.
So if you see that guy running and down and running all around and everyone's cheering, that's why.
He actually comes from the top of the auditorium, the top of the audience section. So like you might even like hear a few cheers like before he actually officially like makes his entrance. And then you'll hear, they have sex with their tails! Sex with their tails! And the audience just goes crazy for that. He comes down and starts assaulting everybody with his sex tail and says something about, I'm king of the world, has an Avatar world, which is actually a thing. I did check it out.
Every year they bring the guy back, the date gets later and later.
Well, officially, according to the internet,
That's never wrong.
yes, they broke ground in January of 2014.
Still trying to fix it.
Yeah, over at the Animal Kingdom of Disney World. It is supposed to be open January 2017. But according to Universal, it's going to be 2075 if anybody still gives up.
This is probably the second Avatar movie is probably not going to be out until at least another year or two.
Yeah.
So it's a little more timely than Fast and Furious, which is now past 7 movies. That's why he keeps saying that. So it's another poke at Disney. There's a lot of pokes at Disney.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all in good fun. I mean, I've seen plenty of guests at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, wearing like the Disney bracelets or something Disney related on them. So you're like, okay,
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Universal stuff over at Disney too.
Yeah. Other than that, we've discussed like the basic plot of the show in another video. These are just things to look out for, like just things you need to know that make the show more enjoyable.
Once again, Justin Bieber
Yes.
is in the show. That he has been in the show many times before, sometimes played by a woman.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I couldn't tell this year. It wasn't the one who's been playing him in the past few years, but another thing is, if you're not familiar, the time travel device that Bill and Ted use is a phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you might wonder what that is.
Yeah.
But that's why they keep talking about the phone booth. It's not in the show very much this year, which is unusual.
But they've got a DeLorean, they've got a TARDIS, so.
And the family who's out front in the beginning of the show, that is from Vacation, the remake of National Lampoon's Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of different references to many of the things in the show. So we probably didn't get all of them, but if you like, leave some constructive comments in the comment section to point out what else is a reference to things in the show. That's what the show normally is.
Yeah.
But it's more pop culture.
Yeah.
This year, it's references to pop culture, but also previous Bill and Ted shows.
Yeah.
And there's always a big dance number at the end.
Yeah.
So that's pretty common. But this year they went with some old school stuff.
Yeah.
In the spirit of it being a retro year. So hopefully that will help you enjoy the Bill and Ted show a little more. And thank you for watching all the way through. If you have not subscribed, please do. And check out our other videos from Halloween Horror Nights 25 and Universal Studios Orlando Resort.